This is not looking good. So I did this a week ago where I did my queens and I put a queen colony into this box. And we've got little to no activity here. Apologizing in advance for the wind, but yesterday I came out here and I noticed no activity in this hive. This is the nuke that I added the queen to. So I made a nuke with a new queen and then I moved them into this box, and there was no bee activity yesterday. I'm just out here really quick today to see if the queen's in there, if there's any chance in salvaging this hive. Bee. Nothing in here. A bunch of earwigs right here. I think this hive is gone. So let's just take everything out, see what we got. Yeah, these are the frames that I cleaned. There's a few bees. There's dead bees right there. Oh, they were coming out. They were hatching. They had nobody to care for them. Let's see if the queen is in here. If I have a queen in here, I might be able to save this hive. I think this is just... I don't know what this is. It's really windy. It's a small hive, small population, if anything. Only bees on this side. Yeah, there's a queen in here. So she's in here. So what am I going to do here? What am I going to do? So right now I'm going to cover this up. I think I'm going to feed. I might need to put some bees in here. Oh, shoot, dang it. Now what? Now this quick day is turning into a long day, and I don't know what. Okay, think. So there's not a lot of bees in here. There's really nothing for her to work with. All right, let me figure this out. All right, hey guys, welcome back. So here we are out the bee yard at this hive. This hive is the one where I added the queen, the white queen that I had when I bought the two queens. I put her in there with the frame with very little brood on it. The result was all the bees that were in there left, went back to the main hive, told their friends. They came back and robbed this hive. There's very little activity in there. So about a week ago, I added a pint of sugar water because the queen was still in there. She was still alive, but she had maybe 20 bees with her. When I did that, because I didn't have all the proper equipment, you see the 8-frame box on top of the 10-frame box to cover the sugar water, going through a hole in the top. It was also just still being robbed at that point. So I've come out here today to check to see if the queen is still alive and in there, what the status of the sugar water is. I've made more sugar water. I have it with me here, or syrup, I guess. And then as far as the two hives over there, the one with the flow frames on it, I'm just gonna pop the windows and see if there's how they're doing with their honey production. The second frame, or the second hive, the original Monty hive over there, has the gold queen in there that I did the sketchy introduction with. So I might open that up and see if there's any signs of life in there for the queen. She was looking pretty weak when I put her in there. So I'm gonna look at these 2 hives and leave the big hive alone for now. So yeah, let's get into it and see what we got. I'm hoping, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this queen is alive, because if you guys remember, I smashed the queen in the Monty hive and I put the gold queen in, which wasn't looking very hot. So if this one's dead, that one died, I'm gonna be in dire straits again after purchasing 2 new queens. I'll be down to just 1 queen left. All right, so let's get into the inspection. Oh, I also brought some sticks because I'm gonna try to reduce this entrance if I still have a queen in there and I put more sugar water in. So let's get in there and take a quick look. Let's set you guys up here. The best possible viewing angle. All right. Okay, here we go. Take the top off. Oh, there's still lots of sugar water. Wow, lots of sugar water in there. Half full. Oh, dude, there's a lot of bees in here. Look at that. Still half full, so we're gonna set that aside for now. I'm happy to see that. So it's kind of been working out, this whole process. Especially if I have a queen in there. If I have a queen in there, we are golden. Or if this is just a bunch of bees robbing, then we won't be so golden. These are all empty frames over here. This one's empty. This one's got some comb on it. Empty. Empty. This one has some stuff on it. Let's pull this out. Let's see what we got. We got some pollen in here. Got some pollen down there in the bottom. No eggs, no nothing. Getting a little worried, thinking that this just might be a bunch of robbers going on right here. Gotta be careful because my queen's gonna be in here somewhere. There she is. The queen is still in here. There's a lot of pollen. I don't see any eggs, but the queen is still in here. She's on this frame right here. You can see her right there. Big white spot on her, but I'm not worried about her not laying eggs. I'm thinking that's just because of the lack of food. But they do have a little bit of pollen. There's no honey stores in here whatsoever though. Just pollen. So I'm hoping that if I keep that sugar water in here, keep these guys in here nice and tight, we're gonna get some action in here. So let's put this back up. Let's put this back on here. Perfect. Smash that earwig. You know, I'm gonna fill this up. I'm gonna top this off since I brought the sugar water out. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, there we go. Okay, let me get my other one. Open this one up. Hopefully I don't make a mess. We'll top that off. Back up there. On there. There we go. Move this over here for now. All right. So we have a queen, we have food. We have a queen and we have food. We have some pollen in the hive. Okay, so that was decent. All right, so that was not great, but not bad. All right, let's go check the status of this gold hive over here. The gold queen. That was a bad start to the day. That's light, there's not a lot of honey in there. All right, pretty decent amount of bees. All right, they're much more down in now than they were before, so let's take out some of these frames and take a look-see. See if we have signs of life. Very light. Just a little bit of pollen. Dead bee. Watch out. It's like pollen and honey in here. I'm doing all right. This thing's braced up. I'm hoping to see some eggs. There's capped brood and larva. Perfect. Capped brood right there in the center. Some larva around it. That's what I wanted to see. So that means that the gold queen, oh, look at that pollen pattern. Look at the colors right there. You guys see that? That's awesome. Capped brood, some larva. Yes. I see pollen on the bees' legs, so they're getting pollen from somewhere still. It's June 13th today. Things are starting to slow down with the pollen. But so far so good with this hive. I feel like I made the right decision. Yeah, look at that. You guys see that color pattern right there? With all those pollens. Nice. Looking for my gold queen. Look at that. It's nice stuff right there. I don't see the queen just yet though. These guys are packing in the pollen. Liking it. And they got these frames locked in here. Brace combing it. Alright, Queenie, where you at? Yeah. Capped brood and larva in the center. Pollen around the outside. Some capped honey up here. Much better looking hive than it was Oh yeah, much more brood there too, brood and larva. See any eggs? Couple cells they got building up here. Oh, there she is. There's the queen, right there. Moving down on that frame. All right, perfect. So we're doing good. So we're gonna batten down the hatches. We got a queen, we got larva, we got capped brood. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a lot better than it was. Perfect. All right, let's take a peek inside this hive. We're not gonna open up the hive, but we're gonna take a peek inside the little windows right here, see what we got going on. So I am waiting for them to fill this up. All right, we got bees in there. Can you guys see in there? Bees in there doing something. Now this is the outside, it'll be the last thing that they fill up, but it's nice to see that we got bees in there cleaning those out. So let's go put this back. See if we can't find another window to take a peek in. This hive has always been doing really well. Let's take a look in this side. See what we got on this side. Same thing, got some more bees crawling around. Looks like they're maybe doing some cleanup work. And then there's one more spot where we can check out. See if we got anything going on in here. Alright, so that's not what I was expecting. I was hoping that there was going to be honey in there, but there's nothing in any of those frames. Alright, so there is quite a few more bees in this center section. There's a lot of bees crawling up and down, but I don't see them doing any honey storage of any sort in there. So, but it is a little bit slower time, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the first box that we looked into today, that was just the box that I made up to put the queen in because I had an extra queen. And I wanted to keep her as a spare for my 2 hives that I had. Make 3 hives maybe, I don't know. So about a week ago I added syrup in there because it didn't go well with her. All the bees left, went and told their neighbors, and they basically robbed all the stuff out of the hive. When I checked it last week, the queen was in there with maybe 20 bees. I added syrup. Went out there today, you saw that there was still a little bit of syrup left. The bees were feeding on it. The queen was still in there. There's no eggs, there's no brood. There's very little pollen in there. But the queen's still in there. There's some bees and there's some pollen, so there's some activity going on. I'm hoping that as, you know, the food becomes more abundant or whatever, she starts laying eggs, starts producing some offspring, and that hive starts to grow. I reduced the entrance today. I added more sugar water in there, or syrup today. And I also did an open feeder of syrup so that the rest of the bees will try to stay out of that hive and just go get the open feeder. So that's that. I'm hopeful that that hive is going to take off. I've seen bees with less turn it around and do really well. So I'm hopeful for that hive. I hope it takes off. If you have any suggestions on what I should do to that hive, I'm sure you're probably going to say take some more brood and put it in there. But I don't really have a lot of brood to choose from. The second hive I inspected today was the one where I smashed the queen. If you haven't seen the video, click the link above to watch the sketchy introduction. I smashed the queen, replaced the queen, I put her in there, and it looks fairly good. There's some brood, there's some larvae. It looks like there's some activity going on. She didn't inherit a very good hive. There was a lot of stuff going on in there. Not a lot of room, so it looks like she's getting things into order. She looked good, so I'm hopeful about the second hive. That's the Monty hive. And I didn't inspect my bigger hive. I just pulled the covers off to look to see how the honey production was going in the flow frames. there's not a whole lot going on in there. I'll probably have to do a more thorough inspection in about a week to take it all down and see what's actually going on in there. We got 5 weeks left till the end of July, and I'm planning on treating for Varroa at the end of July. I feel like I made a mistake last year with my Varroa treatments, or not treating. So I'm going to try to treat at the end of July, so going into fall there's no Varroa mites in there. And I'm going to use the mite away, or the strips that I have from last year. So yeah, that's the plan going forward. Any tips on that weak hive, I'd be happy to know. Also about your feelings on open feeding and feeding with syrup. Oh, does anybody have the frame feeders that you put in the hive and you put the syrup in the actual frame? I've been thinking about getting one of those. Yeah, so if you're using those, let me know how you like them. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.